Hey guys, this is Jeremiah and Dustin from Tennessee and Muzzleloader. Today we're gonna clean this muzzleloader because
we're going to show you 3 different ways we can clean it. One way that's very effective. That method is going to be used when you're bringing it in from the field. You've been out hunting or you've been out at the range and you want to clean it 100%, like before you put it up for the winter, or when you just want to make sure it's 100% clean before the next time you shoot it. We'll show you that one in a few minutes. Then we're going to show you the method where you can clean it like at the range or at home. Works pretty well. Like if you're at the range and you're shooting and you want to clean it to where you can get it really clean at the range while you're in the field and then take shots. We do that when we shoot our muzzleloader. To get it zeroed in perfectly, we try to clean it 100% and then shoot it again. And then we're going to show you an easy way. If you're in the field, you get the chance to take a deer and you may want to keep hunting. This one, since I'm from the South, it's kind of one of my favorites. We call it the spit patch method. You can, if you have water already, you don't have to do it this way, but you just take the patch, put it in your mouth, get it moistened up, or you can just pour some tap water, some bottled water if you don't have, if you have that. Jeremiah's going to put the cleaning jag on. He's already got it on, and this is moist. It's not completely saturated. Now this method, the spit patch method, is not to 100% clean the weapon. It's simply to get it clean enough to where you're ensuring that you can more easily put a bullet down the barrel and that you're hoping you're going to improve your accuracy between shots. Now go ahead, Jeremiah. Now this method is the same for all. You start out with the patch, you push it down, and then remember when you get at the bottom, you give it a twist, and pull it up. Good, bring it out. Let's see what we have. You'll notice this patch is dirty. And then what we'll do is we will just, we're just going to run another patch down. And I think I already said it once, but when you get to the bottom, turn your cleaning rod counterclockwise, or turn it clockwise so nothing comes unscrewed down in your barrel. That would stink. Then you pull the rod out, and if you look right there, it's already getting a lot cleaner. That's going to improve your shot a lot. Now the next one, we're going to put our eye protection on because we're going to be working with some caustic chemicals. You've only got 2 eyes. Some of you people might only have 1. Some of you might think you have 3. But I like to celebrate what God's given me by taking care of it. So we're going to use our chemical here. There's a name for this chemical, and I can't remember, but it's 1 part Murphy's oil soap or 1 part royal soap, 1 part peroxide, and 1 part alcohol. And this really works well. And all you do, Jeremiah's going to show. Go ahead and tell him what to do, Jeremiah.
So you dip it in, but it is a little sticky. So like if you can go wash your hands or something after it, because, and then you just, once you get it in there, you let it drip for a minute, and so it doesn't get anywhere you don't want it to be. And then once you think it's, moist enough, you just put it on there, just like that, and just do what he said. So.
Now this is the kind of patching you would do in the field, and you would wet 1 patch, run it down, get it moist, and then after that you would take it out. You'll look here at this patch and see how dirty it is. Show them how dirty that is, Jeremiah, there on the camera. That is so dirty. And what we would do is we would just run 4 to 5 dry patches completely in and out.
Then why is, before we done this, it was almost completely clean. And then we got it wet. dirty that is now compared to this one. This is a dry patch, and this is our muzzleloader cleaner. So, could you please explain that?
That's a great question. The two reasons why is the moisture helps to break it up out of the lands and rifles, which are the grooves and the lands in the barrel. And then also with this cleaning solution, it's going to help to break the bond between the Pyrodex, which is what we use as Pyrodex, and the barrel itself. If you're shooting Blackhorn 209, BH 209, or if you have a muzzleloader that's capable of being smokeless, then you don't have to worry about doing this as much. Remember guys, don't put smokeless powder unless you have a muzzleloader that is specifically designed and manufactured for smokeless. It'll blow your gun apart and it might kill you. But what you're going to do, like I said, if you're at the range or out in the field where you don't have hot running water, you use this solution. You run the first one through it wet, then you start working these dry ones through it. And for demonstration purposes, we're going to stop here. We would run 2 to 4 dry ones, and then we'd wet it again. We'd try to get it cleaned again. Now the next one we'll show you, we're going to do something kind of, I think it's a little unconventional, but it works great. And we'll have to show you that in the next video clip. Stay tuned.
Bye.
All right, guys, so for this method, you need a kettle of boiling water. You're going to need something to hold onto the barrel because it's going to get really hot really quick. You're going to need your cleaning rod. You're going to need something to pour the water from. You can use a funnel. If you don't have a scope, it's a lot easier. If you have a scope, you have to be more precise. You're going to need something to protect your barrel in the sink. I have a wet cloth at the bottom, and I have a wet cloth, or I have a cloth here on the edge. That way the barrel's not hitting against the metal of the sink. So the ideal behind this is you pour the boiling water down. It completely breaks up. The black powder residue or the black powder substitute residue, and the barrel and the mechanisms get so hot that it evaporates the water while it's drying. People used to use the bathtub method where you soaked them in the bathtub. Bathtub method works good, but I don't support it because it's too hard to get the moisture out when you're done.
I thought we could show them how dirty the thing was now.
That's okay.
And then we could show them how dirty it was.
That would be a good option, but we're not going to. So we're going to pour some of this boiling water into our measuring cup, and we're going to pour the rest of it down in the sink. Uh-oh, I didn't stop my sink up. Kind of made a mistake. That's okay. You watch our videos and you'll know that we are people who make mistakes. So you have to have the water stopped up in the sink because you're going to take advantage of the vacuum. You work the ramrod up and down like a plunger to pull the water up into the barrel. It's only when you start making videos that you realize you don't know how to stop the water in your own sink. All right, guys, we're going to show you the boiling water method now. We boiled some water on the stovetop. And this is not an everyday cleaning. This is a, okay, I'm done with the rifle for the season, or I want to make sure it's 100% cleaning method. What you're going to need is some hot water in the sink, some boiling water to pour down the barrel, some way to pour it down the barrel, and a bowl or a cup to put your breech plug in. You're going to need a cleaning rod, and you're going to need some patches. Now, the reason this method is so effective is because the boiling water, firearms and water, they don't mix well, as most of you probably know. So as you pour this boiling water down in the barrel, it heats up the barrel, and when you're done with the cleaning process, the heat of the barrel itself, will help to dry out, it'll help to evaporate. All right, Jeremiah, you were right. 2 won't work. Let's get them off there. There we go. Okay. Now, you can't see it because of the camera angle, but it's actually going to work by a vacuum to suck water up it's going to help to suck water up into the barrel. And we're going to work on that to get it good and clean. Can you get those off on that end? Good job. If you get your patch stuck in there, you can push it out the other end of the barrel. Get me one, Jeremiah. So what you're going to do is you're just going to work this barrel. You're going to keep running these patches down, in and out. That vacuum effect, sucking the water up in there. Getting it good and clean down around the action, down around the breech plug. That's where it's really going to get dirty. And also you'll want to clean the action portion of your muzzle loader. This one, CVA recommends taking the firing pin apart, soaking it and cleaning it, letting it dry thoroughly before you put it in. Just follow your own manufacturer's instructions. And if you bought your rifle secondhand like most of us did, you'll have to go to the company and figure it out. But I'm going to tell you, most of these firearms companies, they're happy to talk to you either on the phone or via email. So now, you know, we've already cleaned this barrel a couple different ways, but when you look, this patch is it's so clean. So this barrel is done. We're done with the hot water. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our dirty old breech plug and we're just going to pour that boiling water all over it. Make sure, guys, you have at least 1 oven mitt, unless you've got some kind of superhuman hands, because this boiling water obviously is hot. So what we'll do next is we'll just take a scrub brush and we'll scrub the breech plug. We'll take a pick, we'll clean it out. We'll run a few dry patches through this just to get any excess water. We'll wipe off any excess water and we'll let it set in a cool, dry, or a warm, dry place to let that water evaporate from the barrel. We'll clean out the action. Then one thing I do is I take anti-seize. Anything that screws in on a muzzle loader, I just go ahead and put a daub of anti-seize because it can freeze up, especially if this is the last cleaning of the year. You don't want to let that thing set in the safe, under the bed, in the closet, wherever you store your gun. You don't want to find out in a few months when you pull it back out, oh man, the rust is set up. So this is Dustin and Jeremiah with Tennessee Woods and Water, and we're telling you to
make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you can ask us what content you want us to make.
That's
Bye.
right. Get out there and find your fun.